So both those cards have been used, so they disappear, and we're back to a day round. And now you can see the ones that were selected in the first day phase aren't here anymore. So we've got the option of Rethink, Mana Steal, or the Right Moment. I cannot see our hand anymore. Let's go back to being the white player. What have we got? Rethink. When you take this tactic, discard up to 3 cards. I don't really need influence cards. I don't really need crystallize. Oh, I never moved us to the village. So actually, although I think this is pretty trash, I'm going to go for it. So the dummy player. Oh, he still goes first. So we can plunder the village. Click after cards have been discarded. Okay, so we're going to discard 1, 2, 3. Who did become available in the village? Guardsmen and scouts. I do like scouts. They've got movement. Anything that gives you movement I think is really good. And a siege attack 1, which can be clutch at times. So they are discarded, and hopefully... Oh, beautiful scripting. So we don't really need to plunder the village. We're just going to be exploring. Yeah, I think that's fine. He's going to be going first. Green, so 1 more card. Colours were they? Green, green, blue, red. Okay. He still doesn't have any red crystals. That's nice. We've got blue and red usable mana. Black is dead in the source already. The dice are something you've really got to look after in a solo game where you've only got 3. As soon as you roll the second one black, you start getting really limited. So mana draw's second ability, that strong effect to set any die to a colour, is what we're going to want to do with this black dice, just to give it some flexibility again in the mana pool. And we could do it now. We could do Temporal Portal and Stamina if we used a white crystal. Or set it to green. Go with just using blue on Stamina to start with though. We are in the right spot to reveal 2 new tiles. Let's start with this space. Hopefully there's nothing on it that I want, except maybe in this top space, because I can't afford really to waste too much movement going backwards for it. Okay, interesting. This could be worth our time. It's 7, 2, 4, 6, 7. So sadly, we wouldn't level up, but you pay 3 white mana for 7 fame, and we do have mana draw, which means we could use a white crystal to set this die to white, and we would also get 2 white crystals, 2 white mana. Sorry, mana is distinct from crystals. Crystals you can save in your backpack. Mana disappears at the end of the round. But whenever we want to, we could generate 2 mana. And then maybe another crystal. 7. And we're going backwards, but it's only 2 movement plus 2 to get where we were. Could use this. I think for 7 fame, and it's not a fight, I think I will. So we locked in the decision. Let me reset these. We locked in the decision we were going to use 4 mana. I was planning at 4 mana. We were going to get 4 movement by using the blue mana die. We were going to explore this one tile for 2 and this tile for 2. But having done this first, we can just use the other movement to get onto this space. Don't think we're going to use anything else right now, which leaves us a lot of cards in our deck, considering he's just about to have a turn. But we might roll a white dice. Yeah, that feels pretty good. 7 fame is a sizable amount. Oh, it's another black. This is the problem I was talking about. Okay, dummy player, what do you do? He gets green, he gets 1 more. Our turn. We are going to use mana draw using white. It sets a die of our choice to a colour of our choice. We will make this black dice white, refreshing it back into the pool. And as you can see at the bottom there, set it to any colour except gold and get 2 mana tokens of that colour. We get 1 2 mana tokens. What we can also use is mana enhancement. When you spend a mana of a basic colour, gain a crystal of that colour. I think we will. So we gain another white crystal, which we will spend, and we put another white on this card for next round. Because, and actually we could decide this first. Yeah, so we've got illusionists here. We could use expose next round whilst we're here to take out this mage tower. Let's deal with this token. We've generated our 3 mana. That's perfect. We will gain 7 fame. End the turn. Unfortunately, we're just shy of leveling up. We get no rewards. Dummy's turn. Blue, so he draws 2 more. He's down to 5. We have 12. So we need to speed up, which is fine because I'm planning to use Savage Harvesting for 2 movement. It is a green space, so it is only 2 movement to get on here. Oh, have a marker, the site's been conquered. We will move on to here. We could fight both of them. Interesting. We could provoke the diggers to join in this fight as well. We'll definitely be taking on the illusionists. I'm not sure if we're going to take on both. The problem with the illusionists, they've not only got this summon ability, which means we don't know what attack we're going to have to deal with. They are fortified and physically resistant. We do have black mana in the source. We can get mass expose. And we have white mana from our skill. And we can choose to have their fortification removed. The resistant ability, in this case physical, means any damage of that type is halved. You're off, Chalk. Yeah, no worries, man. Up early doors. Good seeing you. We are doing Gloomhaven again tomorrow. I don't know if the guy you were watching before you raided my stream last week does a regular Tuesday Gloomhaven, but if so, maybe I'll see you after that. Take care of yourself either way, man. Bye for now. So this will get rid of the fortification. We get an attack 3, but resistance means any physical attacks are halved. So this actually becomes an attack of 1.5 down to 1. We can get additional attack using a crystal. So we've got 6 range attack, which will be enough to kill him. We then have these 2 cards remaining. If we wanted to provoke the diggers, we can make them lose their resistance, their fortification, sorry, because of our spell. Enemies lose all fortifications. So both tokens are affected. But we don't have any other range combat left. We could still block them and then do 2 attack from determination and a 3rd attack in order to kill them. And you know what? I think that's worthwhile. We're going to draw these guys into the fight. And we can work it out this way. There's been no new information revealed. It's not like we've waited to see what the illusionists could do with their attack. If we had drawn that, we couldn't later choose to bring the diggers in, but we're killing them in the range phase, blocking the diggers, and then killing them with 3. It does mean we don't have a spare card to discard for Savage Harvesting, which is a shame. We could use the Golems plus Determination to generate the attack and discard Temporal Portal to get a blue crystal, but I'd prefer to keep the flexibility of the Golems. But this means we don't gain or lose reputation, because we lose 1 for the illusionists, gain 1 for the diggers. So that's pretty good. We are losing crystal. Actually only 1. This one came from our skill token, so 1 crystal to get 6 fame. We're using all of our cards pretty wastefully, but we've got 12 and he's got 5, so we need to use our card. It levels us up. Yeah, that feels good. So we get another spell because of taking on a mage tower. We've got red mana in the source, so Flame Wall seems pretty good. Otherwise, if I'm very worried about movement, move up to 3 revealed spaces on the map. You may not move to or through swamps or lakes this way, and you must end your move in a safe space. Same as the basic effect, except you have to end your movement on a fortified site. It ends your movement and counts as an assault. Ignore fortifications. So underground assault is a really good way of getting into a city from a long way away, not provoking enemies on the way. Don't have any green mana though. We've got 2 red crystals. Makes me think, although I want the travel effect, Flame Wall is going to be probably situationally easier for us to use. We do have Mountain Law as a potential advanced action. That's not going to disappear anytime soon. We could get that as a movement option when we level up. So yeah, let's take Flame Wall. Grammar. Ooh, we've got a lot of these spells coming out which lets you ignore fortifications. Grammar is another fantastic spell. Right, we've conquered this site. And now, because we leveled up, our hand size has increased to 6. Rewards claimed. The dummy, red, fantastic. If it was blue or white, they would have had no cards left, and that would have killed our game by 1 turn. As it is, we can carry on. Daytime, we can use the gold mana. Ah, it's daytime. It is daytime. We cannot use black mana at night. Everything we did on that last round, we couldn't do. we couldn't get rid of his site fortification. Let's flip a brown token. We will put the green orcs back and lose a reputation. And 3. 1, 2, 3. I would imagine we're going to be able to block this. Haha, 6. So we used... How am I doing? Alright, except for realizing I just messed up. I think we used determination just as a block 2, didn't we? So if we generate 5 plus the other card we discarded for the additional block, instead of blocking 3, we can block 6 from the Medusa. There we go. Let's actually make it fair, and there definitely wasn't black mana here. This would be the definitely wasn't gold. Gold is the one that should be black. Okay. Let's get rid of that. But otherwise we did still level up, so our hand size is fine. And we did still take the Mage Tower, so we do still get the spell. Right, we don't want to hang around just to kill those guys though, so let's move on. We've got no green mana. I'd like to use this to draw an additional card. Have we had all of our movements? No, we've only had one. We've got one here. Had Savage Harvesting actually, so that I think replaces a March. There's one blue and one white movement card. We can only generate 2. Generate 1 more. We are on the outskirts here. Let's just use Tranquility. And we will use Crystallize with a white mana. A white crystal. We can draw 3 more cards. And then see what we have. That seems okay. Dummy player. Of course, their last 2, which were all the reds. Improvisation, that will do. That gives us movement, and it's a red card, and we have red dice. So improvisation. We can recruit another unit. And actually, possibly I should have looked if there was anything tasty. Not overly, so that's okay. I'll save that for later. If we generate movement, we want to reveal this space. So, which card shall we get rid of? We've got Fire Attack 5 or Fire Block 7, along with the Golem's attack and block. There's no one I really want to hire though. But let's get rid of Promise to use Improvisation. You always have to discard one other card. Powered up with a mana. This is a movement of 5. That would be 2 movement to reveal a new tile. And unfortunately, this is swamp terrain, which takes 5 movement to get in. We have 3 movement remaining. Critically, we're now onto the core tiles, which also means we don't want to move on to this village because we cannot have a city tile, a core tile, on the edge. We need to be moving inwards. Have to try and get here. So let's think, it's 5, 6, 7, 8 to get to this space. It's only 5, 6, 7, 8 to get to this space, and then we can reveal 2 core tiles. We don't have to fight a stone thrower, which is a lot of effort for 4 fame. With 3 movement remaining, let's discard 4, 5. extra movement. We go 2, 3, 4, 5 movement. It ends us on a magical glade, which will get us a gold mana. We've only got 2 cards left in our hand, and we can draw our last 4. We will at least get everything out of our deck. And we've rolled gold. Rewards claimed. Equals end of round, which means this is our last set of actions. What have we got? Ruthless Coercion. We used a red mana, we could ready our unit to get more movement. Doesn't feel like it's a great option. I think what we'd do is concentration plus movement. We know we need 3. 4, 5, 6, 7 would reveal both of them. So we might well end up moving or discarding another card for 1 movement. But we're almost certainly going to need more than 4. We definitely need more than 4. If we only generate 4 mana, wanting to keep concentration for maybe swiftness for the range attack, we'd have to just generate 5 movement to get to this 3 and 4, 5 movement. Jamie movement, based on the cost of the space we're looking to move into, just gets us down there. It's 2 movement to explore a new tile, or there's a few labyrinths and mazes which we haven't come across yet which use movement, but basically it's your way of getting around the map. Yeah, if we don't use concentration for the added movement, we probably aren't getting any benefit from it anyway. So that generates 6. We'll use 3 to get here and 4, 5 to flip over a core tile. We'll start with this one. So a couple of text came up there. Elite units are included in the next offer, and a monastery is available for a new advanced action. For each monastery on the map, which you haven't burnt down and pillaged, because clearly ransacking an ancient monastery is a thing you might want to do. I'm not sure whether Emperor or Chalk is more likely to want to see death and destruction of a monastery. Could go either way. But yeah, for each monastery out which hasn't been burnt down, there's an available advanced action, and you could purchase this using influence from the monastery. The other message that came up were that elite units would be available. As soon as you have a core tile revealed, the next time you refill the offer, you start including the elite units. And it goes elite, regular, elite, regular, elite, regular, elite, regular, until you filled up your offer. So in our case, with only 3 in the offer, it's elite, irregular, elite. And you want to get those revealed as early as possible because they're just very good. There's nothing here really that I want. So let's use Ruthless Coercion as 1 additional movement and reveal 1 new tile. This means we've either got movement from swiftness if we need it to get onto this tile, or we could use it potentially as an attack option if there is something on either of these bottom 2 spaces. Considering there's only 2 tiles left, there's a good chance this might be a city, and I always forget what the city tiles look like. Invariably, we're going to get blocked. I think there's one which has water down both bottom tiles, because nearly always you will approach a core tile from underneath. This is going to be it. No, it's not. So we know the last 2 tiles actually are our 2 city tiles, which is a shame. We are next to 2 enemies, and this feels like a time to kill them. We've got 2 units we haven't used, and we know this is the last round. I really forgot he was over here for a moment. I might put him just at the end here, just for a second. At least he's on the board until we get enough units that this is a problem. We don't have to move, which is good. Can we get 7 range attack? One of them is physically resistant as well. We probably can't get 7. We can definitely get 5, which would kill this first one. And then got a lot of block. Yeah, we need 4 block for him. We're going to end up using a mana, but just to clear them both out of our way, I think is definitely going to be worth it. Either we're moving on to the desert, in which case we have to start a fight, or we come through the hills. And we can't move onto this space until they're dead. So let's attack them both. But these cards are all locked in because we've revealed new information. Now, we can only generate 5 ranged attack, so I would prefer to kill the ironclads in range combat, but we do not have that option. The attacks from the skirmishers pretty weak. But where did our other skill token? Oh, it's up here. We'll use their 2 range attack plus the white mana for 5. Range attack kills them, then we need 4 block. We've got a couple of ways we could generate the block. Either 2 block from rage, 2 block from the guardian golems, and then fire attack 5. Or we could use... Yeah, this is definitely the most efficient way. If we want the fire attack, I think the other routes we'd have to use. Yeah, we're doing it this way. So we're going to gain 2 reputation and 6 fame. Not going to level us up. It should get our reputation out of the negative territory. Yes. And we have cleared a route. We're going to want to take this keep over. We've already taken 1 keep, so this will give us a +2 to our hand limit. It's going to be 1 city here, and then I guess 1 city here, so we might end up on the mine. But this is quite a good spot to have a keep, as it will boost our hand size against the first city we fight. And that can be the difference maker. It's also going to be a night round when we're assaulting this first city, which means we can use the stronger effect of our spells. You can't use black mana at night. So round 6, obviously the final round of the game, is a very good time to be assaulting a strong city. But sometimes attacking the first city during the day can be harder, because you can't use the really good effect of your spells. So if at all possible, try to get there, even if it's at the end of round 4. So you can just fling yourself in at the end. You could take some wounds, shuffle them into your deck, and take it on in a weakened state when it's in a weakened state at the end of round 5. Choose tactics to be removed from the game. Off they go. What are we going to go with? I think sparing power. Yeah, let's go for it. So we're going to go last. Dummy player takes Midnight Meditation, which is okay. Dummy player first then. Green, he gets 2 more cards. We are going to store a card under sparing power, so it just sits under there. And at some point before our turn, we can pull all of the cards under this into our hand. So we'll collect up a few, 3 or 4 cards probably by the time we take on the keep, explore and get ready to assault this city, and then we'll have a nice lot of cards for that final assault. So we've got movement. Unfortunately, we're not going to know what's in this keep until we're attacking it. As it's night, unlike all the other sites when we've gone adjacent to it and we flipped it over, it's dark. You can't see up onto the precipice and see who's hiding up there. So again, a little wrinkle in the rules, but thematically it makes sense. During the day, you can see who's guarding the walls of the fortified site. At night, it's potluck. So, nice. I like it. We would need, again at night, going into the keep would be 5 movement. So we need 8 in total. Which means we'll likely have to use the foresters for 2 movement, because they reduce the movement cost of both hills and forests. And we're moving over hill and forest. So that's effectively giving us 4 movement. And then we could get 2 4 movement. Playing both of these as basic actions. There is white and green, but saving concentration, swiftness when you're attacking a fortified site. There's not many which aren't fortified and we don't have any way of getting rid of it, so I'd prefer to probably have concentration, improvisation, or concentration, determination. Got a few flexible options with it then. So we've generated our 8 movement, bam bam. Let's attack. Who do we have? Swordsman. Again, scripting's nice. It puts this little icon up here to remind you they're fortified. We need 6 block. Okay, 6 block, 5 attack. So I guess the easiest way is green mana concentration to get +2 to a card. And we can get +2 to determination, so that's block 7, which is perfect. And then improvisation with a red mana. Discarding a card for attack 5. Can we do it in such a way that we aren't losing mana? Guess we'd be using either or both of our cards here. Or we'd have to be taking wounds. It would only be 2 wounds, or we could assign damage to a unit. But I think we'll go with it. We're going to end up drawing a lot of cards into our hand, because we've got 2 keeps and a hand size of 6. So we'll have 8 cards, plus 2 units. And is there a strong... There are heroes we could recruit from a keep as well. We have to pay them 2 influence when we do an assault, but they are very strong. Unfortunately, our reputation penalty will cost us twice. They've got the thumb here with a ×2. So they like a positive reputation, but it's double the effect. Whereas these guys, they like a reputation which is bad because they are thugs. And they would actually be easier to recruit because of our bad reputation. But yeah, let's use all of our cards just like this and gain the 4 fame. We can end the turn and level up, which is a new action card and a skill token. we've got the option of Spirit Guides. Move 1 and you can add +1 to a block of any type in the block phase. Or either reduce 1 attack of an enemy by 1 or reduce the armor of an enemy by 1 to a minimum of 1. You can't use this skill on a fortified enemy in the range and siege attack phase. We should have 1 token for Norwis, but I think last time when I flipped these I messed up the scripting and it didn't show us 1. So this lets us add either +3 to the block of a unit, +2 to a normal attack, or +1 to a range attack, which is okay. But I think I want Mountain Law. Move 3 or move 5, and we can also enter mountains. We don't know what cities we're revealing. They might be pretty hard to get into. Let's take Mountain Law. And this doesn't work in fortified sites. This block can be added to the block from a unit as well. Let's take that. Okay, so rewards are claimed. Our hand size is 8 because we're on a keep and we now have 2 keeps. And we will store another card. So we've got the potential couple of cards. Another red, that's fantastic. He's going good and slow. We can do Savage Harvesting. It will give us movement. Don't have green mana. We do have mana draw. That could be very useful to get black mana if we get a couple of our spells. So move 2. Once this turn, when you move a space, you may discard a card to gain a crystal of the same colour. Let's do Savage Harvesting, 2 movement, and we are going to reveal this tile. The Green City. Okay. So we've got a couple of problems. If we want to move here, we provoke these ironclads. Or if we move from this swamp into the city, we would provoke both of them. So ideally we want to move on to this swamp space. You off, Jamie? Yeah, no worries, man. Take care. Have a good evening. Good having you along. If we move, yeah, either way we're going to provoke a couple of them, so we definitely have to take the ironclads on this round. Fortunately, the dummy player's gone really slow compared to us, so taking on another orc isn't the end of the world. So let's fight them. We can't move onto their space, we have to choose to fight them from where we are. I'm actually pretty glad we didn't power up Savage Harvesting. We aren't going to get the benefit of the movement effect though. We haven't moved any spaces, so we can't discard a card for a crystal. So, Ironclads. They've got an attack of 4. We don't have a single attack card. We've got Swiftness for range attack. But again, they're physically resistant, and we only have another range attack of 2. We do have influence. Could we generate enough influence? I don't think we could. This is 6 influence. We have no other card that gives us influence. So that's not going to be effective. Hey Mertimus, how you doing, man? Yeah, I'm good, I'm good. We are playing a bit of Mage Knight, which is considered a pretty meaty board game. So What's happening may be a little complex, but a brief overview. We have a hand of cards. Whatever is in our hand dictates our available actions. They generally comprise of 4 basic actions: movement, attack, block, and influence. Influence, you will recruit units that may have those similar abilities as well, and we're trying to liberate these cities. We are this fella. As much as he looks like he should be the enemy, we're equal opportunities. This ferocious looking fella is us. He's the good guy. Did you manage to get your stream going in the end the other day? I know you called it. I don't know if you went back at any point. Yes, liberate, I suppose you could put it that way. We did arrive in this realm via this portal, but we are on the Council of Watchers. We're meant to be looking after the place. So how are we going to generate our block? I think we're just going to have to chuck a good few cards. We can get 1 extra block from this. We only need 3 block. So that could be... yeah, let's get rid of 1. 2. And did we have a white mana? We do have white mana. Go to this one. So that's 3 cards discarded, not using any of their normal abilities, but just using them as a basic 1. 1 from Spirit Guide gives us the 4 block. We then need 3 attack, but we can only generate physical attack. We're going to need 6. We're going to have 3 from Swiftness, powering it up, and also the normal attack 3 from the Crossbowman. That's 6 attack to kill them. Now we'll end the turn. Back Tonight had 3 separate issues last week. Yeah, it didn't seem like it was going well, but it was cool just to have the chat stream, wasn't it? I like it when there's someone to chat to. Which is ironic, because in person, I'm the most socially awkward person ever, and if there's more than 3 people in a room with me, I get really freaked out. But I don't mind it when there's people virtually. So we have claimed our rewards. We didn't actually level up or anything, but we have cleared the route. So that's our turn done. The dummy player draws another red card. We have got very lucky. We reach the end of our deck, so we have drawn all of our cards. So we might as well attack into the green city, if we can do it. So mountain law, you can enter mountains at move cost of 5. If you end your turn on a mountain or hill, your hand limit is higher. Temple portal, play as your action for the turn. Well, we're not doing that one. Going to do 2 movement from 3 from mountain law, 2 from stamina, 1 from our spirit guide ability, so that's 6 movement. It's 5 to get here and another 2 to get into the city. So anytime we're adjacent to a city, you flip these tokens. You can always see what is in a city, even at night, because it's such a strong enemy to try and face. So let's see who is in here. I think we are definitely going to be attacking, no matter what, but yeah, that's not awful. So we do need one more movement to walk in there. And that could be from Intimidate, just played for its movement. Okay, that's our movement done. I'm just going to discard them out the way because this is probably going to get a bit messy. So we came from this space, so we don't have to provoke these guys, but we are taking these. Every city has a bad little special bonus. So in this city, this fist goes to poison. So everybody who only has a physical attack also gains the poison ability. I think 2 of these had physical attacks. Again, a nice thing with the scripting for this tabletop module, it adds the icon so we can see that. All right, so my thinking is we'd like to use Expose. Enemies lose all fortifications this combat, or enemies lose all resistances this combat. We can use that to get rid of all their fortifications. But we don't have any range attack that is sufficient to kill any of them during the range phase. That isn't really worthwhile. So perhaps plan B, which I wasn't thinking about, could be Flame Wall. Actually, we can't do Flame Wall because we haven't got the mana. We've only got white. When you spend a mana of a basic colour, gain a crystal of that colour. Interesting. We definitely have to block the freezers. They've got paralyzed. If we don't block them, we lose all of the cards in our deck. What we could do is make one of our units block them, and then the unit just dies, which is unfortunate, but it's probably what's going to happen. Then we could look at blocking fire block 7, could block one of these 2. Yeah. Don't think we're going to take many of these guys out, but hopefully we can take somebody out. What we're going to have to do is use mana draw with a white crystal to set a die to a colour of our choice. And I was going to go black so we could use our spells, but instead we're going red. Gets us 2 red mana, one of which we can use on Flame Wall. That can be Fire Block 7, which would block the werewolf. And we could use the other to get Fire Block 4, plus 1 from Spirit Guide to get 5 to block the Minotaur, and let the freezers just kill, for example, the Foresters. Or we get 2 block and discard. Ooh, where did I lost my crystal under here. Come back. Yeah, we get 2 block from the golems, plus 1 from here, so that's 3. And we discard Promise for 4, Temporal Portal for 5. Block them that way. We could generate 4 attack, 5, 6 attack, and then this just played sideways for 7. We can get 2 more range attack by using this ability, gain a white crystal. Oh, actually we could use it, yeah, either to get 2 attack or 2 block. Okay. I'm a little bit torn as to what I want to do. I'd like to kill, obviously, as many of these as possible. And that might mean just letting some of these attacks through. We just get attack 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we could probably kill 2 of them. Four, 5, 6. Sorry, 4, 5, 6, 7. Attack would be enough here. And we've got these 2 to still deal with next round. Or I take wounds from one of them instead of blocking it, and we do an extra fire attack 5 and kill them. Yeah, we'll do that. So we'll assign the freezers to the foresters. They've got an attack of 3. They have 4, so they would take a wound, but because of the little statue effect, what is called petrification, paralyze, here we are, they get turned to stone, which is petrification. If a unit gets wounded because of an attack from an enemy with paralyzed, it is immediately destroyed. Remove it from the game. So unfortunately, as much as I like this unit, they will be destroyed, and we have not killed this unit. If I can flip them over, they will remain. This unit has an attack of 7. So where shall we assign the damage? They can be blocked by the crossbowmen. They would take 4 damage because they have 4 armor. Lowers it down to 3, and then that attacks us, and we take a wound. But then we've got a fire attack 5, which could kill either of these. And I think I'd prefer to kill the one with swiftness, because that's just harder to block. And then we have attack 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to kill the freezers, because this attack is pretty annoying to block, especially with swiftness. So the Minotaur survives. In this scripting, you flip it over, you can notice the change in my fame. It would be a total of 16 if we killed everything. As it is, it's only 12. So we will end the turn and level up. Things discarded. Our unit here remains wounded. And we forced back. So with assaults, which was the rule? Where are we looking? Combat with enemies. The cities are one of the big combats. The important part, assign damage, no. City assault. Forced withdrawal. You must end your turn in a safe space. If you are not in a safe space, you must backtrack your move until you arrive at a safe space. For each space you move while backtracking, add a wound. So we are not in a safe space because we're in a city. But if you do not defeat all enemies at the site, if you have failed to defeat all defenders of a fortified site, you have to withdraw back to the space you're attacking from, but this withdrawal does not count as a forced withdrawal. So do take care when you're doing the city assaults. I've seen quite a few times when people attack and then have to take, or they pick up a wound when they move back. That is normally the case with a forced withdrawal, but you don't from a fortified site. What we do, for every token killed, we add one of our little shields on here, and this does give a reputation bonus. But for now, we only have this one card. There's nothing left in our deck. This is going to be the end of the round. He still has 8 cards, but at least we have whittled away most of this city. It's going to be a pretty easy assault at the start of the 5th round.